Welcome to this module on education in Rwanda. In this module, we need to understand that the government of Rwanda considers education as a cornerstone pillar to achieving the country's envisioned socio-economic transformation. In this regard, effective school leadership is paramount to guarantee that education policies and programs are yielding the expected results, which will be observed through learning achievements and school performance. Therefore, it is essential to reconsider the role of school leaders. Leadership is focused on vision, motivation, the future, and the teams and people in the school. Management provides systems and processes essential to the smooth day-to-day running of the school. Both leadership and management are essential for successful school development. By the end of this module, you will be able to have clear ideas of the education system in Rwanda, identify the education cross-cutting areas in Rwanda, understand how the Rwandan education system is structured, have clear ideas about the Rwandan education planning and implementation, and identify clearly how stakeholders and partners' engagement are involved in the Rwandan education. This module is intended for mayors, vice mayors in charge of social affairs, directors of education, senior education officers, and regional inspectors. This module is made up of 4 units, which are Unit 1, Overview of the Education System in Rwanda. Unit 2, the support of local government units for quality education. Unit 3, Education cross-cutting issues. And Unit 4, Stakeholders and partners engagement. Throughout this module, we should remember that the strategic framework of education comes from the commitment of the Rwandan government to the UNDP in response to the Sustainable Development Goals, especially goal number 4, quality education. This goal is included in the National Strategy for Transformation, NST1, and translated to the Education Sector Strategic Plan, ESSP, of 2018-2019 to 2023-2024. The institutional framework of the Ministry of Education, MINEDIC, is for policy formulation, educational planning, coordination and monitoring and evaluation at the national level, and is the lead ministry for the education sector, with the responsibility for policy formulation, coordination, and regulation through setting norms and standards for the education sector. The education system has a centralized structure and functions under its agencies. The agencies of MINEDIC are Higher Education Council, UR, RP, RTB, REB, NESA, and CNRU. On the other hand, the decentralized system involves districts for monitoring and evaluation of the education implementation. The education system is generally divided into 2: basic education and high learning education. Basic education has pre-primary, primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary. Upper secondary has 2 sections, general education and TVET. The education policy drives the conditions and capacity requirements that school infrastructure must meet to provide a satisfactory level of service. To ensure the standard of teaching, pedagogical documents are prepared by teachers to ensure the learning outcomes are achieved in the class using ICT as a tool of delivery in teaching. The feeding program intervention is set to make sure that learners have the daily requirement of essential nutrients and vitamins for all students. The EDC program is responsible for the readiness of children for primary school setting. Equitable placement of all teachers is facilitated by the district education officers in consultation with Teacher Service Commission. Placement in all schools, primary and secondary, will be the responsibility of district education officers in consultation with the Teacher Service Commission. The Imihigo for Teachers program is to ensure that teachers are performing well. Supervision of the schools is the responsibility of the district, that is local government unit, and Minedik to make sure education policies are implemented in the set standards. All children should have 12 years basic education. Inclusive education means the process of addressing all learners' educational needs in a mainstream education setting. The district and Minedik make sure that schools are catering for all types of mainstreams in education setting, including children with special needs. The key drivers for school dropout in Rwanda education are age, poverty, early start of studying, delayed start of studying, and gender-related issues. Districts should encourage the children to continue studying for a better future. Teenage pregnancy is pregnancy in a woman 19 years of age or younger. Such pregnancies are commonly caused by inadequate or no access to adolescent sexual and reproductive health services and information on health care. They stop girls' education. Schools, with the help of the districts, should orient students on the disadvantages of unwanted and early pregnancies. The common principles of effective stakeholder engagement based on international best practices include the following: commitment, integrity and trust, respect, transparency, and inclusiveness. Stakeholder engagement typically refers to anyone who has invested in the welfare and success of a school and its students. Schools and districts are encouraged to collaborate with different stakeholders to ensure the support of education of the students. School partnerships help all educational settings to benefit by sharing their knowledge, experience, and resources so that they can provide better learning outcomes for their students. Partnerships can be with multinational companies, bilateral corporations, non-governmental organizations, local organizations or institutions, and the community. In conclusion, therefore, we have discussed the education system in Rwanda, the support of local government units for quality education promotion, education cross-cutting areas, and stakeholders and partner engagement in the Rwandan education system. We have also seen that the transformation of Rwanda from a predominantly agrarian-based low-income economy to an industrial upper-middle-income nation by 2035 is premised on the ability of Rwanda's education system to produce enough and appropriately skilled workforce capable of realizing this aspiration, as well as upgrading the skills and competencies of the existing workforce. The impact expected from successfully delivering the ESSP is to ensure Rwandan citizens have sufficient and appropriate skills, competencies, knowledge, and attitudes to drive the continued social and economic transformation of the country and to be competitive in the global market. Thank you very much for your participation in this module. See you in Unit 1, Overview of the Education System in Rwanda.